Жили-были они, нет, и были они всем рады, да-да-да, да-да-да. Якщо хочеш дуфалек, не забудь про дуфалек, память тратится, а пушки не хотят раскаяться. A monkey doesn't wear any pants. Monkey doesn't wear any sex. She ran to be with someone stars and watch me with her in your million eyes, singing to sleep lullaby. Жили-были они, нет, и были они всем рады, да-да-да, да-да-да. Якщо хочеш дуфалек, не забудь про дуфалек, память тратится, а пушки не хотят раскаяться. A monkey doesn't wear any pants. Monkey doesn't wear any sex. She ran to be with someone stars and watch me with her in your million eyes, singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Ran to be with someone stars, watch me with million eyes, singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Rain to be with someone stars and watch me with a million eyes, singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Monkey doesn't wear any pants. Singing to sleep, lullaby. She ran to be with someone stars, watch me eyes, singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Ran to be with someone stars, watch me with million eyes, singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Ran to be with someone stars, watch me with a million eyes, singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Да, жил, был тут маленький, когда смотрел Мадагаскар. Где ты смотрел, пса? Да, где ты был, когда воду пил? Сейчас. Иду я в магаз, иду на показ. Singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Китяу. Дам. Китяу. Lullaby of the monkey. Monkey doesn't wear any pants. Да, жил, был тут маленький, когда смотрел Мадагаскар. Где ты смотрел, пса? Да, где ты был, когда воду пил? Сейчас. Иду я в магаз, иду на показ. Singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves. Китяу. Кончай дурить. Do to be lullaby of the monkey. Кончай дурить. Понял меня. Да. Я понял дурак. Singing to sleep, lullaby. Praying to be. Дурак, кончай дурить. Понял меня. Да, я понял тебя, дурак. Всем привет! И сегодня я бы хотел вам показать, что моя камера, и знаете, она пытается меня убить, повторяю, это не шутка, это на самом деле происходит, понятно? Иначе бы меня эта камера растерзала на маленькие... И прямо вообще бы никак, я просто не понимаю. Ладно, ребята. Так. Всем привет! С вами Замблет. И сегодня я бы хотел вам показать, что моя камера пытается меня убить. И знаете, она пытается меня убить, повторяю, это не шутка. Это на самом деле происходит по-настоящему. Понятно? Иначе бы меня эта камера растерзала на маленькие кусочки. И прямо вообще бы никак, я просто не понимаю. Ладно, ребята, всем удачи и всем пока-пока, дураки. Rain to be with someone stars and singing to sleep, a lullaby of the... Ooh, now me get to where is true, so singing to sleep, lullaby of the... Rain to be with someone stars and watch we will in million eyes. Singing to sleep, a lullaby of the leaves. Ooh, now me get to where is true.
So let my dreams come true.
Singing to sleep, lullaby of the leaves.
Что же там находится? А вот там. А вон там. А может быть вот там? Правильно, это Бимон, который смотрит в окно. Что ты мне сказал? Да пошел ты в жопу.
Что же там находится?
Не знаю.
А вот там?
Не знаю.
А вон там?
Не знаю.
А может быть вот там?
Нет.
Правильно, это Бимон, который смотрит в окно. Это Бимон, который смотрит в окно. Что же там находится?
Не вижу.
А вот там?
Не достаю.
А вон там?
Ну блин.
Может быть вот там?
Это Бимон.
Правильно, это Бимон, который смотрит в окно.
Ты тупой. Вообще.
Что ты мне сказал? Да пошел ты в жопу.
Да сам уйди ты. Вообще видишь, как ты разговариваешь? Ты сам с собой разговариваешь, дебил. Пошел в жопу. Эй, я тут самый лучший. Меня никто не победит. Эй, я вообще-то самый лучший, баран. Ах ты тоже, я тебе ударю сейчас, по башке дам. Хочешь по башке ударить? Чтоб я ударил. Ну тогда уйди, я тут самый лучший. Хватит! Да все, ладно, ты пошел в жопу, я самый лучший. Пока. Я тут самый лучший.
Эй, я тут самый лучший.
Нет.
Меня никто не победит.
Алло, нет, я тут самый лучший.
Эй, я вообще-то самый лучший, баран.
Сам тупой баран.
Ах ты тоже, я тебе ударю сейчас, по башке дам. Хочешь по башке ударить?
Я тебе...
Чтоб я ударил.
По башке, дурак. Нет.
Ну тогда уйди, я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я.
Да все.
Хватит, я тут...
Я
сам пошел в жопу, и никто больше не лучше меня. Сам пока ушел вон, козел, баран. Уйди вон, чтобы я тебя с глаз моих не видел. Все, пока. И никто больше не лучше меня. А ты еще кто такой, раз ты лучше меня? Хочешь, чтобы я по морде тебя ударил или нет? Да заткнись ты! Хочешь драку, так будет драка. Ну да, на, получай! На! Ай! Получай! Лучший! Ай! Ладно, пока. Я тут самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший. Эй, я тут самый лучший.
Что ты сказал?
Меня никто не
Что ты
победит.
сказал?
Нет, я тут самый
Нет,
лучший.
я тоже.
Эй, я вообще-то
ну-ка,
самый лучший,
заткнись.
баран. Сам тупой баран.
Нет, да.
Ах ты тоже. Я
Вы
тебе
дураки.
ударю сейчас, по башке дам. Хочешь по башке ударить?
По башке.
Чтоб я ударил. По башке, дурак.
Нет, получайте, дураки, я тут самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет. Да нет, нихуя, я тут.
Пошел в жопу,
хватит.
больше не лучше меня. Сам пока ушел вон,
Нет.
козел, баран.
Я тут
Уйди
лучший.
вон, чтобы я тебя с глаз моих не видел.
А ну-ка заткнись.
Все, пока.
Заткнись, я
Кто
тут
больше не
лучший.
лучше меня?
Я тут лучший.
А ты еще кто такой, раз ты лучше меня?
Да заткни хлебало уже.
Хочешь, чтобы я по морде тебя ударил или нет?
Да.
Да заткнись ты. Хочешь драку, так будет драка.
Ну ладно, давай, тварь.
Ну да, на, получай. На. Ай, блин, получай. Лучше. Ай. Ладно, пока.
Чё я ржу? А ты чё пристал? Какой-то недоумок, который считает себя лучше меня. Да ты знаешь, ты кто? Ты кусок говна в моей жизни. Не приближайся ко мне. Повторяю. Не приближайся ко мне. Никаких нос, заткнись и уйди. Я не хочу больше драк, мне уже хватило. Ушел от того дурака, который выиграл, еще с тобой не надо. Пожалуйста, уйди. Ладно, ты лучший. Все, я пошел. Я самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший.
Эй,
я тут самый лучший.
Нет.
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я тут, нет, не скажи.
Нет, я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я.
Я вообще самый лучший баран. Самый тупой баран. Нет,
Да, сами вы втроем баран.
по башке дам.
Ну-ка на.
Чтоб я ударил по башке, дурак.
На, я тут самый лучший.
Я самый лучший.
А ну-ка, ты кто такой?
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет,
На, получи. Нет,
я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я тут самый лучший.
На, получи.
Самый тупой баран.
Сами вы тупые, что вы обзываетесь? Я тут лучший, поэтому меня не обзывай.
Дурак.
На, я тут самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший.
А ну-ка нет,
я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я тут самый лучший.
Ну ты сказал, меня никто.
Я тут
Нет, я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я.
Я вообще самый лучший баран.
Эй!
Тупой баран.
Да нет, нет, вы сами бараны тупые. И ты тоже тупой, что ты смотришь?
По башке.
А ну заткнись и смотри дальше. Ну-ка ты не лучший. Так, на, получи.
Больше не лучше меня. Сам пока ушел вон. Нет, все, баран. Я тут лучше.
Нет, я.
А ну-ка заткнись. Все, пока.
Сам заткнись.
Лучший меня. Да, я тут лучший.
Нет, я.
Ну, а ты еще кто такой, раз ты лучше меня? Да заткнись, хлебал.
Сами заткнись.
Хочешь, чтобы я по морде тебя ударил или нет? Да. Да заткнись ты. Хочешь драку, так будет драка. Ну ладно, давай, тварь. Ну да, на, получай. Получай. Лучше. Ладно, пока.
Ах ты урод.
Чё я ржу? А ты чё пристал? Какой-то недоумок, который считает себя лучше меня. Да ты знаешь, ты кто?
Кто?
Ты кусок говна в моей жизни.
Сам такой.
Не приближайся ко мне.
Я сейчас приближусь.
Не приближайся ко мне.
А ну-ка тихо.
Никаких нос, заткнись и уйди. Я не хочу больше драк, мне уже хватило.
Ладно, прощай.
Ушел от того дурака, который выиграл, еще с тобой не надо.
Хорошо.
Пожалуйста, уйди.
Я ухожу, только...
Ладно, ты лучший.
Да.
Все, я пошел.
Все, удачи. Я самый лучший. Я не самый лучший, ты хочешь сказать? Я только что пережил встречу с 5 дебилами, которые считали меня лучшим. Теперь ты будешь 6-м и еще хочешь получить по роже? У меня кулаки целые. Повторяю, кулаки целые, поэтому... Да тихо уже, тихо! Заткнись, иначе получишь по роже. Ладно, я слежу за тобой, но только не ты самый лучший, понятно? Хорошо, давай, пока. Только попробуй мне что-то вякнуть. Я сказал, попробуй мне что-то Ты хочешь Тогда уходи. Все, давай, раз хорошо, не считай тут себя лучшим, хорошо? Да. Я тут самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший.
Ты хотел меня ударить?
А ну-ка нет.
Нет, я ударил тебя.
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет, я самый лучший.
Я тут сказал, нет, я тут самый лучший.
Пушок, приди на помощь.
А ну-ка заткнись. Эй, тупой баран. Да нет.
Сам.
Нет, вы сами бараны.
Да ты тоже баран.
И ты тоже тупой.
Ах ты, я тебе голимый черт сейчас отпухну.
Ты смотри дальше. Ну-ка ты не лучший.
Ты хочешь драку?
Нет.
Получай 10 ударов в рожу.
Сам пока ушел вон.
Нет.
Я тут лучше. Нет, я. А ну-ка заткнись. Все, пока. Сам заткнись.
Сами заткнитесь.
Нет, А ты еще кто такой, раз ты лучше меня? Да заткнись, хлебал. Сами заткнись. Чтобы я помочь?
Достали.
Тебя ударил или нет? Да. Ну заткнись.
Сейчас будет месиво.
Ну ладно, давай. Ну да, на, получай. На. Получай. Ладно, пока.
Урод.
Чё я ржу? А ты чё пристал? Какой-то недоумок, который считает себя лучше меня. Да ты знаешь, ты кто? Кто? Ты кусок говна в моей жизни. Сам такой. Приближайся ко мне. Я сейчас приближу. Приближайся ко мне.
А ну-ка, тихо.
Никаких нос, заткнись и уйди. Я не хочу больше драк, мне уже хватило.
Прощай.
Ушел от того дурака, который выиграл, еще с тобой не надо. Пожалуйста, уйди.
Я ухожу.
Только ладно, ты лучший.
Да.
Все, я пошел.
Все, удачи.
Я самый лучший.
Нет, я.
Я не самый лучший, ты
Да.
хочешь сказать?
Да.
Я только что пережил встречу с 5 дебилами, которые считали меня лучшим. Теперь ты будешь 6-м и еще хочешь получить по роже, у меня кулаки целые.
А я?
Повторяю, кулаки целые, поэтому... Да тихо уже!
Да ты тихо.
Заткнись, иначе получишь.
Я тоже сейчас
Уже.
тебе дам.
Ладно, я слежу за тобой, но только не ты самый лучший, понятно?
Но я хочу быть...
Хорошо, давай, пока.
Ладно.
Только попробуй мне что-то вякнуть.
Грубиян.
Я сказал, попробуй мне что-то Ты хочешь
Нет, нет, нет.
Тогда уходи.
Прошу.
Все, давай, раз хорошо, не считай тут себя лучшим, хорошо?
Хорошо.
Да.
Дурак. Ай, боже мой. А ты-то стал считать себя лучшим, на! Ха-ха-ха. Ай, по башке прям удар. Тогда на! На! Ха-ха-ха. Ай, 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 ай. 4 удара. На! Ха-ха-ха. И на! Добивающий. Я тут самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет,
Я тут самый лучший. Ты хотел меня ударить? А ну-ка, нет.
Я сейчас вас всех переведу.
Нет, я самый лучший. Я тут самый лучший.
Получили все? Им все равно. Сами вы тупые бараны. Сами бараны. Ну сами вы все. Ну перестаньте обзываться. Я тут лучший. Лучших не обзываю. Месиво. Получите.
Получай 10 ударов в рожу.
На. Больше.
Нет. Я тут лучший.
Получи. Получи.
Сами заткнитесь.
Ты тоже заткнись.
Ты еще кто такой, раз ты лучше меня? Да заткнись, хлебал. Сами заткнись, чтобы помочь.
Ротик заткните.
Да. Заткнись.
Сейчас будет месиво. Да. Я согласен.
Урод! Чё я ржу? А ты чё пристал? Какой-то недоумок, который считает себя лучше меня. Да ты знаешь, ты кто? Кто? Ты кусок говна в моей жизни. Сам такой.
Сами!
Ко мне.
Я лучше, я один такой лучший. Вы не лучше, ну прошу, признайте это.
И уйди. Я не хочу больше.
Но если придется, я использую силу. Слышите?
Который выиграл, еще с тобой не надо. Пожалуйста, уйди. Я ухожу, только ладно, ты
Плакса.
лучший. Да.
А я мужик.
Удачи. Я
Ботаник.
самый лучший. Нет, я.
Нет, я тоже.
Я не самый лучший, ты хочешь сказать?
Да.
Я только что пережил встречу с 5
Мы тиммейтом объединялись, а потом я его тоже приеду.
лучшим. Теперь ты будешь 6-м и еще хочешь получить по роже, у меня кулаки целые.
А у меня тоже.
Кулаки целые, поэтому... Да тихо уже, тихо.
Ну, эй.
Это
Это мой тиммейт.
Я тоже уже... Ладно, я слежу за тобой, но только не ты самый лучший, понятно?
Но я хочу быть...
Хорошо, давай, пока.
Ах, грубиян.
Попробуй мне что-то вякнуть. Грубиян! Я сказал, попробуй мне что-то вякнуть. Ты хочешь, да? Нет. Тогда уходи.
Хорошо.
Все, давай, раз хорошо, не считай себя
Ладно,
лучшим.
сейчас на тиммейте отыграюсь.
Да.
Эй, ты!
Дурак.
Чмошник, Галима.
А ты достал.
Я лучше тебя.
Ай, по башке прям удар. Тогда на. Ай. 4 удара. На, добивающий.
Еще один. Фу. Добил дурака. Ну иди сюда. Еще один кретин. Что ты наблюдаешь? На! Ай. Сразу четверной удар. Что-то мне плохо уже. На. Тройной удар. Ай. Тоже тройной удар. У меня сейчас голова закружится. Ага, ему плохо, да. Тебе плохо, дурак. Ай. Неужели так все закончится? Вижу белый свет. А ты замолчи. Я вижу белый свет. Ну уже и ты на него. Да, иду уже. И ты вали. Хорошо? Я самый лучший.
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет.
Я тут самый лучший.
Нет.
Я тут самый лучший.
Я вообще-то.
А ну-ка, нет.
Я сейчас голова болит. Я буду кулаками вас дусить, которые орут. Я получаю. Сами вы тупые бараны. Сами бараны. Это хватит вы все. Ну вы тоже бараны все, и ты в том числе. Месиво. Кровавое. Получайте. Одного убили уже. Ладно, я посмотрю.
Не, заткните.
Месиво.
Кто такой расцеловался меня? Заткнись,
Да тихо, ротик будет сейчас месиво. Посмотрим. Да, точно подмечено. Первый. Давай. Что ты там вякнул? Второй, на. Все, не говори за второго, первый выиграл.
Пристал какой-то недоумок, который считает себя лучше меня. Даже знаешь ты кто? Кто? Сука.
Я лучший своей шуточки, но вы будете моими последними жертвами. У меня кулачища такие, что они вас убьют. Силу отчаянного бойца, который выживает за последний кусочек еды.
А я мужик, удачи.
Ага, мужик, самый лучший типа. Я самый лучший, у меня силы, как у богатыря. Голос мужественный, как у 30-летнего мужика.
Тиммейтом объединаешь, потом я буду.
Да молчи!
Теперь шестым, и еще хочешь получить по роже, у меня кулаки целые. А у меня тоже. Кулаки целые, поэтому... Да тихо уже!
Сейчас будем драться.
Эй!
Тиммейты, я буду с вами. Втроем на одного.
Ладно, я слежу за тобой, но только не ты самый лучший, понятно?
Уже
я хочу быть... Хорошо, давай, пока.
Блин, даже не вляпал одному.
Попробуй что-то вякнуть. Грубиян! Я сказал, попробуй.
А теперь на его тиммейта.
Нет. Тогда уходи. Все, давай, раз хорошо, не считай себя
Ладно,
лучшим.
сейчас на тиммейте отыграюсь. Да, напарник, ты тоже мой тиммейт. Отыграемся на нем.
Ты достал.
Я лучше тебя. На!
По башке
Блин, на, тиммейт, на! Еще удара. Получай. Получай.
Добиваешь. Еще один. Фу.
Я лучший.
Добил дурака.
Сам дурак. Я лучший.
Ну иди сюда. Еще один. Один. Что ты наблюдаешь? На! Ай! Ай! Сразу четверной удар. А это мне плохо уже.
И сколько ты им... Ай!
Тройной удар.
На!
Ай! Тоже тройной удар. У меня сейчас голова закружена. Ага, ему плохо, да. Тебе плохо, дурак. Ай! Неужели так все закончится?
Вот так вот.
Вижу белый свет.
Да. Иди туда.
А ты замолчи. Я вижу белый свет.
Я
Ну,
вижу, что ты
на
видишь.
него.
Ну иди на него.
Да, иду уже.
Все, да.
вали.
Да, давай.
Хорошо?
Хорошо.
Все, пока.
Пока.
Да.
Хочешь битвы тоже? Боже мой, как вы достали! У меня уже голова такая красная. Ну все, получай 3 удара. На! 4. Ай! 5 ударов. Ай, больно. Тогда получай всемирной удар. Все, получи всемирной. Получил. Сломался. Шея сломалась. О, май гад. Да получи кровь. Я хочу, чтобы Пушок послушал ничего, а я просто в туалет схожу. Послышишь? Я пошла какать тебя. Или... Тишина на английском. Тишина на английском. Bye. Хотя... Я какать, короче. Такого вы слушаете. Я 100 лет. Богманичка посмотрим. Теребрил.
Still exists in texture files, but doesn't show up in game. We can render these hooded variations using an external skin modeler. So here's what the librarian, the priest, and the both look like if their full texture is utilized. It gets even more weird. If you go up one though inside of the game's texture files, you'll find but this one's a little more strange. I'm going to create a retextures these villages around using this village technology, and well, let's take a look. And here I've replaced all of the individual profession texture files with this very peculiar looking Steve texture, and you might be thinking they're just Steve's, but let's go in and have a bit of a closer look, because as we can see, the village people has an ill and robes, so this texture seems to have a Steve head, kind of attached by a little flap of skin on the side there. And as you can see, there's still certificates. And I imagine this must have been some when the test certificates were originally being tested internally, and this skin was never really perfected and just accidentally left within the files. But isn't it terrifying? I think it's time to get a little bit villager crazy. So I'm here in a midst, and I'm running a world seed. Right here, where you see this player icon, is where my player is. This is where my ravine base is, and I'm going to look at the nearby villages to see if we can figure out where I can see one of each villager type. So I've been doing a little bit of world seed. What I can tell you is that this village that's north of the base is the very first village that we discovered that had no buildings in beta 1.8 pre-release. So this area is already off limits because it's and there's nothing that we can do there. Down here is actually a very close by village, and it happens to be in unjust chunks. As you can see, just here is where the this is the mini stronghold with just a staircase, so really not very far in between these things at all. This is only a few hundred blocks away from the ravine base. This village happens to contain a butcher, a blacksmith, a priest, and a farmer, but no librarian. So I've been taking a little bit of another look around tonight. You'll see that there isn't a lot of choice. Most are now more like 1,000 blocks away from the ravine base. So I've been looking at these two over here. This one here in the desert happens to be a librarian, amongst others as a blacksmith and mostly farmers. But, oh, and one. This one doesn't exist. And this one doesn't exist. So the best option, I think we've got is to take the librarian from this village here, put it on the phone, and take it all the way to this village here, and then pick up all of the extras and bring them back to the ravine.
Дураки, блядь. Пидоры, блядь. Ты глухой! Сейчас я закрою.
Thank you again to my Thank you again to my amazing patrons for supporting me, and check the links down in the description below if you want to join up on Patreon, join Discord, or anything like that. CX. You've been watching Minecraft: The Journey. Bye bye. Rescue. Paul and his family lived out in the beautiful country, natural beauty and wonder, but it came at a price. Unfortunately, they were forcibly evicted from their homes and are now living in a cave attached to a ravine. What's it like out here in a ravine? Horrible. It's dark and dingy and scary. When we moved here, there was hardly anywhere to go. It's pretty bad. Oh, and there are these weird corridors. Who knows where? And there seems to be a spider. So what are you looking for in terms of a new room? Oh, we can focus on our lives and do our jobs. Like Uncle Bob and Auntie Barbara. He's a blacksmith. They need somewhere to live and work. After the break, we can transform this disgusting spider-infested mineshaft into a wonderful subterranean Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft: The Journey with me, CX. Here we are in Minecraft Beta 1.9 Where we are all of the villagers which we kind of abducted from one of the nearby villages, and it's not a very good idea to keep them here in a little hole, so I got some help from a renovation show, as you might have seen. episode, and they've helped me transform this area into a village deep here underground in the ravine. So I decided to let all of these villages out to explore. And by the way, don't be they all look like farmers. We multiplayer mode to record this and write them. But I'm just about ready to release them all and let them all in for the first time. They look so excited for this. Okay, I've got a little toggle switch down here, so let's go. Off you go, little villagers. Explore your new home. It's going to kill you. Now this is just a little replica made here underground after I dug out this area. You can see we have a
Evie.
church, we have a library, we have one of these little mud huts. We've got the blacksmith over here and the village well. I'm afraid you don't have anywhere to work, but but at the moment the entire section down here is completely isolated. There's no way for anything to get in or for any of these. Hey, you're already destroying the place. Why are there two butchers? Why are there two butchers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are supposed to be 5 of you. That's a little strange. I did actually notice though when I was transporting.
Насады. Насады.
The village originally, that just due to some weird quirkiness with the game, when I would reload the tracks, sometimes the villages would duplicate, and I think that's what we've seen here. I don't know really what causes that, but apparently twin butchers. I'm not convinced. Anyway, to get back to today, we have quite a bit to get through today. There are some new features that we're going to be exploring shortly, but before we explore those new features, I want to go back to one, and it has to do with villages in Beta 1.8 and some of the issues Notch was originally dealing with. He was developing the code for the original towns. When Notch was developing the town code for Beta 1.8, he was wrestling with the idea of how to indicate the edges of towns. In the original version, villages would be able to be modified by the player, which means they grow in size and shape. But how do you show these boundaries visually? Do you even need to? Notch tried implementing town borders, but he wasn't very happy with the way it was working out. I cannot think of a way to clearly show the edges of a civ-like culture border thing, but it sucks. If we take a look inside of the terrain.png texture file, we can see that there are 2 new white textures that have been added to the bottom row of the grid. These are leftovers from Notch's attempt to add the borders. There are 2 distinct textures here. One is a straight line, one is definitely a corner. Which was a cool way to implement textures in Minecraft back then, when there needed to be a consistent base texture. Applied to the monochrome texture during the index on the biome of that block location. You probably assume that the same thing's going on. The color of the border would inherit the color of the block tint. But that comes with all sorts of problems. Town borders are exploited. Nothing feels right. Grass works, but only sometimes with grass. And he's right, since the town only applies to a few special blocks. If the town's in a desert, how do you show the border on a sand block which doesn't have tinting? Players suggested ideas, but Notch said, I can't do terrain stuff like walls, because players can alter the town and still know where the border is. And so ultimately, he gave up. I've spent a day and a half trying to make the town borders look good, and I'm getting it. But when Beta 1.8 was launched, these border textures remained in the terrain.png file unused. So let's imagine what they could have looked like if they were actually used within the game. For this experiment, I've chosen this village here, creative world, and I want to use this to imagine what the these borders might have been if Welch had actually implemented them in the way that he was describing in his tweets. And he selected textures, of course, to do it. So let's imagine that there's a border here somewhere. It's probably going further back in reality, but and then there's a border line that runs along here and then around the village, wraps around this way somehow, and that tells you where the edge of the village is. Now, if we were to apply not just textures into the game, there would be a double line sort of texture running along here somewhere. Exactly that, and see what it looks like. And this is what it could have looked like. Just texture and apply it over the top of the grass block and apply it with biome tinting. This is what it would look like for this particular biome, which is just a regular plains biome. As you can see, we have the edge of the village over here, and then a corner over here, and then another edge running over this way, all the way up here until we find another corner and it runs off in that direction. So this is just an interpretation of my game based on what I saw at the time and what I think it might have looked like during his development, but I can't be certain. So if you look up from the sky, you can also see what it could have looked like. I imagine it's probably going to be a lot further out, and this is quite up close, but it doesn't matter. It does give you some kind of idea of what it might have looked like, and I do agree it doesn't really look like. While we're on the topic of disused textures, let's take a look at a couple of others that made their way into the game's files but never made it into the game itself. Along with the village border textures in Beta 1. There was another mystery texture added, small footprints. There are 3 in the texture, 2 forwards and then 1 at an angle. We can't be sure if these are footprints, but they look a little bit like it. They look like small boot prints rather than big blocky footprints that you might expect from the player's blocky feet. I'm not sure what the exact purpose was, but perhaps it was intended when mobs like villagers wandered around, leaving a small trail of footprints behind them, which slowly disappeared after a while. Or maybe they were intended for the players. Who knows? I've retextured some blocks to see what it might have looked like if the texture was applied. You'll have to use your imagination a bit, because I don't really know what these textures were for, or what they might have been applied in the game. Grass, stone, sand, bricks, clay, and some snow. But what's interesting about these footprints is that in Beta 1.5, yeah, we're going back a little way here, there was added to the game, which was all so I knew. This one was a separate texture file. Footprint, something that could have been left behind by the player.
Не лагай.
It's rumored that this was intended to be used in the snow. But again, we can't really be certain. Once again, I looked up what this texture could have looked like just on top of a snow block here. The texture itself seems pretty dark. So here's what it looks like when the opacity is lifted to about 50%. And probably more than doubles what it was going to look like in-game. Back in the base now, and if we head down here, you can see that I've started to make some changes down here. It's not quite finished yet, but the idea is that I wanted this space to be open so that you can come down here and explore the void hole from up down here. And you'll notice as well that if you do go down, we get to experiment with the void fog a fair bit. Come over to this side, you'll see that it kicks in rather significantly like that. We get quite a bit of void fog, and if you move in and out of this area, you can see it kicking in fully. I've also created this glass wall over here. I'm not entirely satisfied with it. I'm not sure what direction I'm going with it. Right now it looks like a bit more of an eyesore, so I'm open to suggestions on how to decorate this wall. But right now it does actually have a walkway over the top. But right now it looks like a bit more of an eyesore, so open to suggestions on how we can incorporate this better. But right now it does actually have a walkway over the top here, so you come up here and have a look over the void hole. And
Ты достал. Что, не нравится? Что ты дурак? И микрофон. Заткнись.
explore it that way if you want to. I didn't come over here to talk about animals. I came over here to talk about mushrooms because I've heard some rumblings that there's actually a new biome related to mushrooms. It's possible to grow large mushrooms. They need a bit of space to grow, so let's try one right here. You can grow large mushrooms by hand.
Ты достал.
A regular mushroom and getting a regular mushroom like this. And I'm very excited to see what this new biome is. Before heading out on my expedition, I thought I would leave here in Amidst, because Amidst gives us a great view of all of the distribution throughout our world seed. Down the bottom, we've got World Spawn, and that is the swampland, unfortunately, but ever since the biomes got redistributed. Where my player icon is, or where this steam is, where my player is currently located in the world, is the ravine base right now. Down here is the village where we transported the villages from the last episode, and then over this way is where we took the librarian from when we had to ship it across half the world here. As you can see, off to the east, desert here, a series of islands, and then a little bit further out,
Да ну!
we see this mysterious new island, and I'm really keen to go out and explore this and see what it's got to offer. Now, what's interesting about this new biome is that if we scroll out, you can see that there are quite a few of them spread out around the world, but they're all in the oceans, and that's because this biome usually appears as just an island, but it is possible connected to the mainland. In some cases. There's one right here, or one here, that's very far away. And so here we can see it's an island, but it's connected to the land. So now that we know where to go, I'm going to head off to that village and then head out to the island. One quick never 20 later, and we've wound up here at the desert village, and I'm going to head off to the funky new island all the way off in that jungle. But before we do, I bought a new old GPS from eBay, and I'm keen to just see if it works, because it might help us navigate our way there. So let me just program in the destination, and let's bring it up. Cool. Now, I should be able to use this to navigate my way there, and it should update itself as we go, so I'm just going to go over to the new island. Hopefully it'll update, and see how we go. Successful, but we're about halfway now, and I thought I'd stop for a little bit of a lunch break before we head over the main stretch of ocean to get to this destination. By the way, I love these islands in the middle of the ocean in Minecraft. They're just such cool places to build your base. Huh? Such cool places to build your base. Oh, hey, Cal.
Ты глухой.
You headed over to that island. What, the one over the ocean to the east? Yeah, I thought I'd go check it out. Do not go to that island. Do not go to that. I'm warning you. It's cursed. What do you mean cursed? Yes, cursed.
Может, заткнешься уже?
The entire island is under quarantine. What? Like some kind of disease? Don't ask any more questions. You have been warned. Do not go over there. Do not go over there. Wait, what's happening to your eyes? Oh no, I'm infected. This is how it ends. Oh, alright, well, I'm just gonna leave you with that, okay? Quarantine, eh? You know, I've been thinking about this long. I don't know what some stupid old cow says. You only live once, right? So let's take a risk. I'm gonna jump down here and get in my boat. And of course, before we do, I need to do something. Yes, right? I love this thing. Alright, let's hop in the boat and let's go this way. And hopefully, in not too far, we can find this new amazing island. We should be coming up onto it any moment now, and I think, yes, it is. Look at that, there's a giant mushroom up there on the top of the island. Let's get in a little bit closer. I'm going to switch off the GPS now because I don't need it anymore. So this is the new mushroom island, And maybe that crazy old girl was right. There seem to be some pretty weird inhabitants here. Let's berth up here to the edge of the island and hop out of the boat and have a look at what we've got going on. Well, as we know, this new biome is always going to form a mushroom. It's actually made up of two biomes. They both look exactly the same though, basically. One is the Mushroom Island, which is the central part of the island here, and the second biome is the Mushroom Island, which surrounds the edge of the island. Ignore the local inhabitants for a bit. The first thing that's quite obvious here is that this island is populated by these giant mushroom variations of the brown one. And did you know that these mushrooms are actually based off of real-world mushroom types? The red mushroom is based off of a mushroom called the fly amanita, and it's a red mushroom with a few psychedelic effects. This mushroom is based off of the pen. When Jeb was asked about whether we should change these mushrooms because they were potentially poisonous, he said, "I agree about the fly mushroom. I agree about the fly mushroom. Notch added it because it looks cool. The brown mushroom is a penny bun and definitely edible. The entire surface of this island is covered by this funky purple dirt. And if you look at it, you can see that it's emitting some particles as well. This new block is actually mycelium. But what exactly is a mycelium? Well, as mushrooms and fungus grow, they spread out a tiny interconnected fibers called
Fungus.
I think. And this mass of fibers is called the mycelium. They spread considerably far, and often it's all just part of the same organism. Buried underground or inside of a log or a tree stump or something, connecting the entire fungus together. And it's how the mushroom digests and breaks down. The parts of the mushrooms we usually see on the surface are reproduction. So all of this material beneath us is the massive mycelium network digesting the water. And these giant mushrooms up here are all for reproduction. This is just trying to kill me and then reproduce around. Yikes. So, what that means for the mushroom island, these blocks are still dirt blocks, but they've become part of the overall mycelium that's growing on itself. If you harvest these blocks, you get a regular dirt block. There's currently no way to obtain this mycelium. And just like real mycelium, it grows. If there are any normal dirt blocks nearby, then it will spread to the But even if you could consider these dirt blocks, they don't. Don't behave like it. We already saw that we have a weird particle effect coming out. Soil like normal soil, and you can't plant normal plants on them. Although you can plant mushrooms, of course. So if you already have mycelium, well, I want to try a couple of experiments. It's possible to dig up the mycelium, and you can probably trace back down some dirt blocks right where these were. But as we've also seen, the mycelium will just spread, and it'll be a race against the clock to see who can win that battle, and I don't like the chances. What we can try is we could cover up some mycelium blocks. So if we just cover these up here over in the corner, and then if we come over and dig these up later on, we'll see if the blocks underneath have converted back to regular dirt, or if they stay as mycelium. The other thing we can do, which is
Mycelium.
is try a water bucket. So if I place a water bucket down here, eventually I'm thinking what might happen is that these blocks underneath it might convert back to dirt. But again, we're going to have to wait a little while and see what happens. So we're going to come back to these two experiments in a little while. There are a couple of other interesting properties about. For the first one, I'm going to jump over into a creative. I do have here just for.
Огонь тварь.
And other reasons, and that has to do with because over in this biome, if you do have access to grass, and the reason that I've had to do this here in a creative way is because we're hundreds and hundreds of blocks away from any kind of grass, and so I wasn't going to let some grass on one of those neighboring islands all the way over here. So just for the purposes of this experiment, let's have a look at grass in this biome. Wow, check out that color. That is one vibrant patch of grass. This is the brightest, greenest grass you'll get ever since they called the colours of grass from Classic. It's not quite as bright green as grass, but it is very. Classic. It's not quite as bright green as Classic, but it is very green. Another interesting observation is that I've spent a good few nights here now while we've just been exploring all of the properties. And another interesting the island and discovering all of the properties. And one of those properties is that notice how there are no multi-spawning, even though. So it looks like one of the unique properties of this particular biome is that it doesn't allow hostile mobs to spawn. And that's
Что ты наделал? Блять. Говно. Майнкрафт. Monkey doesn't wear any pants.
That's great for your base work, for just about anything. So we can take advantage of that at some point in the future. And so last but not least, I think we should go off and have a look at this brand new mushroom. But where have they all gone? There's one down there. I saw one up there on that mushroom. Island. I think most of them have swum off into nowhere. Yeah, there's a ton of them. Loads more of them off in that direction as well. Not really sure why they prefer to swim away from the island. Well, let's have a look at this one here, one of the last ones. The mushroom is a new mob beta 1.9, and it only here on the Mushroom Island. And it looks like a cow. It sounds like a cow. And it's got black eyes and mushrooms growing out of it. For the adventure update, Notch and Jeb worked on some different areas. Notch said he was working on exploration stuff, while Jeb was busy working on some other stuff. So we can gather from this that Notch was responsible for creating the Mushroom Island. A few hours after he tweeted that, Notch sent a new picture on Twitter. This picture shows the new mob and reveals textures for the first time as well. And while we know it now as the Mushroom Island, I don't know its original name, because the texture file for this mob is simply called .png. However, in the game's region files, they're called mushroom cows. So maybe they're not came later, or came from the dozens of people calling it mushroom in their replies. Not much is known about the origins of the mushrooms as mobs, but here's my thing. Given that we know about the spread of the mycelium and how these blocks are giving off some very specific, we could assume that in terms of the game's lore, these must be ordinary cows that have been developed by mushrooms. In fact, when Notch first posted these, the community said how much it reminded them of corruption from Terraria. And I think there's some truth in this, because if you take a pair of shears and shear a mushroom, you can turn it back into a regular cow. Notch mentioned this on Twitter as well, and this was the first time Oh wow, it's a regular party zone down here. What's so good about this little spot? Well, before we wrap up today's episode, I've got a couple on these mushrooms. The first one involves... I want to know how close these things are to actual cows. So and just give you a little taste like that. What do we get? Some leather, and we got some raw beef. So that is pretty much the same drop as a regular cow. Probably just a regular cow. The second experiment is milking. I want to know what happens when we milk a mushroom. Do we get milk? I'm not getting anything. But got a bucket of water. That's not what we do. But these things are a little bit strange. So what happens if you do it with you know, gotta try it. Oh, what did we get? Mushroom stew. It makes sense. Kind of gross, but you're basically a walking food factory. In fact, that's pretty neat. If you take one of these home and put it in your base, you'd have an endless supply of food. That's pretty incredible. In fact, I'm quite hungry now, so I'm just going to eat that up. And I did notice that it consumed all of the 4 bowls in my inventory and left me with just one. So thanks, game. Oh, thank you, Mushroom. Well, that ought to about do it for today. And as always, a huge special thank you to my amazing sponsors for supporting me. If you want to join my Discord, there are links to that down below, Patreon, and all of the other things down there as well. So, I hope to see you there. This is Starry. You've been watching Minecraft: The Journey. Goodbye. Look at this, look at this. In the last episode, we did all of these here to see if the mycelium would disappear
Того. Ты глухой. Заткнись.
water or underneath the cobblestone, and I completely... Well, actually, I did go back and check it, but I forgot to include that bit in the episode. Never mind, we can go and check the... And I completely... Tonight, Operation Rescue. Daryl's family lived out in the countryside, a place of stunning natural beauty and wonder. Look at this, look at this. In the last episode, we did all of these experiments over here. Underneath the water or underneath the cobblestone. And I completely forgot to go back. Well, actually, I did go back and check it. Include that bit in the episode edit. Never mind, we can go and check the results right now. I'm pretty confident the results are going to be obvious. So let's lift up this water like that. Yes, it does look like water will get rid of the mycelium, so that's a pretty convenient way of getting rid of it. And if we look at the cobblestone here, yes, it's turned back to dirt. However, this process to me seems a lot annoying. I think, and I can't wait to get to this island. I need to show you this. There's fungus everywhere. Alright. Where are we? What's that? What is that?
Знакомься. Ты. Да.
Everybody, it's me, but in Minecraft Beta 1.9 pre-release. In this series, The Journey, this is an exercise in the history of Minecraft. I let that weird. So I think in today's episode, we're going to have to head over there and figure out what this is about. There are some significant gameplay changes in this update that were being added all throughout the Beta 1.9 pre-release. Two of the major features planned for the event update were potion brewing and enchanting, but in this series, we upgrade from version to version, so we'll have to explore these features bit by bit and version by version until they're eventually fully implemented by the end of Beta 1.9. And we can't overlook anything, because the way something works in Beta 1.9 pre-release might be different in Beta 1.9 pre-release. So we're going to have to be extremely on implementing the potion brewing system. And because potion brewing has lots of new items and mob drops, we have an opportunity to overhaul the Nether by adding the new Nether fortress, which we saw before,
Я помню, ты
and
улыбался,
adding some new
дурак.
mobs and changing some of the drops for the existing ones.
Чё, да, не смешно?
More than one episode to get through, but let's explore the Nether a bit more and see what we can find, taking it change by change. Now for the potion brewing system, there are 3 new mob drops available in Beta 1.9, and here they all are. I wonder what they could all be.
Смешные.
2 of these come from existing mobs, and 1 comes
Смешно.
from brand new mobs. Let's see how many we
Дурак.
get over the course of the episode. One of the mobs I want to revisit here in the...
Ну! Дурак. Пусей. Пусей. Лель.
The Nether are our good old friends, the Zombie Pigman. The Zombie Pigman used to have a chance of dropping a cooked pork chop on death, but now they no longer drop that and now drop rotten flesh as a possible drop instead. So it used to be a good food source if you were willing to put up with the fact that they'd attack you if the player would attack them. But now, not so much for a good food source. But here in the Nether, I'm a bit worried that they might attack me if I attack them. We're going to give this a try. Alright, come on you, let's go. Let's just see what happens. Unfortunately, these two dropped nothing, so I'm going to have to cull some more of them. You, let's see what you'll give me. Come on. Alright, there we go. Rotten flesh dropped by this zombie pigman. Excited about that. I've seen rotten flesh before. The zombies drop it on the overworld. I can't eat it at the moment. I really want to, but I'm going to kill a few more and see what else we can get. Well, we have a few friends here, and I'm a little bit worried about what might happen if I attack one of them. Quite a few, but let's just do it anyway. Oh, we've got a goal. Let's run on in, pick it up, and get out of here. Oof, alright, things seem pretty safe here. So let's have a look at this new gold nugget. It's a pretty small little thing. Let's have a look at it.
Как будто глухой, наелся грибочка.
It doesn't currently have an item named tooltip, but we do know that
Или
it's
ты
gold
просто
nugget.
дурак.
And if we get 9 of these, we can craft a gold ingot.
Или глухой. О!
They don't even know what's happened. But look, I do have 9 nuggets. Turn these into a gold ingot. So let's put down the crafting table right in front of us. Let's see what we can do. I should just be able to arrange them like so. Gold ingot. So we should be able to farm gold ingots now if we can figure out some way of farming nuggets for gold. But that's something I'm going to save for another day because we have more. Oh, and before I forget, is it possible to take the gold and get nuggets back? No. So if we need to use nuggets in a future brewing recipe, we're going to have to get pigmen. Check this out. We now have a beautiful new corridor going from 500 blocks in that direction, which is all the way out to here, and just here is the portal to the Mushroom Island. So now it's there, and just beyond that, as we know, is the Nether Fortress. To build a bridge going out there, but I haven't been over there yet. We'll get there soon. But before we do, I want to kind of go back out and discover some of these other mob drops that I've heard so much about. Hey, there's another person down there. And what's that weird cubey thing? We better go and check this out. We better go and check this out.
О! О! Ты видишь? Ну глухой.
surface, and immense lava lakes that span as far as the eye can see. Here, in this unforgiving climate, it's hard to imagine that anything could survive. But life flourishes. From its more subdued tribal inhabitants, the zombie pig, to Minecraft's apex predator, the ghost. Even here, in the hot, molten abyss, emerges a magma cube. Living in the fiery, molten depths, the magma cube leaps aimlessly from place to place, changing direction every few seconds in search of its prey, the player. Sensing its prey from 16 miles away, once it locks on, it will turn and jump towards it. With each jump, its segmented body stretches like a giant spring, capable of projecting itself 1.5 times its body size, leaving behind a trail of fire and embers. If attacked or badly injured, its body will split into smaller pieces, like a mother giving birth to its litter, each an independent life form. These medium-sized cubes can be split further down into smaller cubes. They cannot survive. And even here, Mother Nature is not without its sense of humor. Despite having evolved from the fiery lava pits of the nether, the lava itself becomes the magma cube's worst enemy because, rather incredibly, the magma cube can become trapped in the lava lakes, unable to escape. Oh, I think we saw them just up here.
Ну,
Oh,
ты видишь?
hey, look at this.
Я буду
Magma
сейчас...
cubes.
Ты
I
глухой.
seem to be stuck on that lava, buddy. Sorry. I've heard a
Я
little bit
буду
about these.
плакать.
By Jet in the Nether, but they weren't intended to drop anything, at least not yet. So I don't think this mob is going to be able to give us one of the new mob drops that we're looking for. Ow. I better get out of here before this thing kills me.
Ну,
It's Jeb who created the magma cube, but it was
Ты глухой?
originally going to be called the lava slime. Jeb said it started out as a retexturing of the slime for the Nether. It was just going to be a lava slime. But then, when I named it that, I thought it was a bit late. I wanted to make it more unique. I can't really remember how I came up with the idea to have a layered mob. It's one of my favorite mobs now. It really affects me. It doesn't stand out in a particular way, I just really like it. Well, so far we've learned that zombie pigmen now drop gold ingots, and the new magma cube drops nothing. So where does that leave us? Oh no! The ghast! That's right, it looks like it's gonna be the ghast. I'm gonna have to see if the ghast drops anything new. Unfortunately, if I do it over the lava, I'm gonna lose it. And the ghasts just roam around. They don't have a particular target in mind. Target, but it doesn't look like anything other than experience. Unfortunately, they just wander around, so there's no way to lure one, and there's no way to ensure we're definitely going to get a drop. I'm just going to have to continuously roam the nether until we find ghasts and drop from them. Oh, we're under attack again, but I think this one might be over some netherrack, so let's aim for it.
свою жопу.
Got your ghast ball back. Within 2 shots, we should be able to kill Oh, got you. Pull back. Two shots.
Ты глухой?
We should be able to kill it. We have.
Ну свет включи. Радость. Скажи ура. Опоздали, нет?
It's exploded some XP. Let's see if we've got anything. Nope. Just regular old gunpowder. Oh, we have another one in our sights. Hopefully this one will right over me. Yes, that's exactly where we want you. Got it. Anything? Anything? Gunpowder. Gunpowder. A little bit of gas trivia for you. Did you know the sound effects for the ghast were actually recordings of C418's ghast? I think everybody knows that by now, but it's really fun, isn't it? How do you coax a ghast across a lava lake? Oh, I wish I could. Oh, twins! Okay. Oh, twins! Last one. Come on. Alright, surely we got something from this. Gunpowder. Gunpowder.
Дурак. Да? Ты глухой. Зла.
Oh, okay. This one's a tricky one. It's so high. Alright, let's see. Okay, one more shot should do it. Come on, Gus. Where are you?
Газ.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's head down and see if we've got anything. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. I think we've got one. This looks like a ghast here. Let's go. Oh, baby, it's a a bit difficult if we want to farm those things, but at least we have one. That just and to find it, I think we're gonna have to go into the fortress. So I'm actually armed up to change and I'm ready to head over. But before we do, let's have a look at the pictures that Jeb tweeted out before Beta 1.9 was released. This first picture showed the Nether Fortress image, but with the brightness turned up, we can see things. A couple of days later, Jeb tweeted out another picture, so spoiler warning. The picture shows the arms going across the Nether pillars, and if we brighten this up, we can see things a little bit more clearly too. It also shows a few smaller structures, and it also shows the fortress with a whole separate section at the back of this image. But before the Beta 1.9 release went out, I sent one more tweet saying, "Finished most of the Nether stuff, which includes 2 new hostile mobs. Cube, so I guess we're going to find the other ones somewhere in the fortress." Alright, let's head in. Look at this thing. It's pretty difficult to see exactly what's going on from way down here. There's a little bit of a broken up gangway up there, and this humongous I have a feeling this thing would have been easier to get to the top, but we're down here at the bottom, so let's head up and have a look at this brand new block. So this is the new
Короче.
is exclusive.
Короче. Заткнись.